Hey, my name's Dominic Carubba, and welcome to the Force Multiplier channel, where we work with leaders and users and admins to help you get the most out of your technology that you've already purchased. Now, this video is about GoHighLevel and getting set up and onboarding as a brand new agency. So while we won't cover the agency SaaS settings, because you could have a single user, the lowest level account, or you could have a SaaS account. This is really about setting up your high-level sub-accounts, because when new agency owners start, they set up an account once, and then they set up another account the same way, when in reality, about 80% of what you need to set up can be automated, completely done as part of your onboarding process. Now, we're not going to get into how we customize it completely. We're just going to go through the basic first-time setup of your agency sub-account, which we'll use as a template later on moving forward. Why you should listen to me? Let me ask you, do you have 27 years experience training hundreds of different pieces of software in the corporate environment? Have you built a 1,500 sales team in 18 months or less? Have you gotten 10 Salesforce certifications? Have you taught thousands of people to get certified in Salesforce? Which, by the way, all CRMs are fundamentally the same. There are some core differences between them, but it's a relational database, not necessarily your personal relationship with a customer. So that's the misnomer of what CRM stands for. And once you understand how data works, and once you understand how to apply that data to your daily work habits, you start to become more productive. And that's really what this video is going to lay the foundation, so you set up your basic accounts and understand what needs to get set up first. I'm going to walk you through, and during these videos, I'm going to interrupt and provide some of my Dominic for you. And if you like it, great. If you don't, hey, just skip past it, right? Most videos on technology teach you the points and clicks. What I hope to do is teach you the wheres, whys, and hows to integrate it with your tool sets, your skill sets, and your mindset. Because if you do those three things and you start to think about your business differently, and if you're an owner, I'm going to talk to you, no matter what level of user you are, the whole purpose of all of this software is to enable you to align your people, your processes, and your platforms for maximum efficiency and effectiveness. So it takes a lot of different skill sets to make all that happen. I've just been doing it for over 3 decades, and I'm happy to come out from behind my corporate corner that I've been hiding in for 30 years. I've been using HighLevel for the last 6.5 years, since 2020. I've been using Salesforce since 1999. I've been a full-time Salesforce instructor since 2015. Recently, I broke free from the monster. I also know HubSpot, Zoho, and if you got questions about any of them, we can definitely answer them. We're going to focus this channel on GoHighLevel and Salesforce, because I would say I'm the most expert at using those platforms, as well as designing them and training them. So watch the video, pay attention, and if you want the companion workbook and guides and other course materials, sign up for my community where we reveal some of this stuff. A lot of it's in the free community. I mean, you can pay for stuff and get even more. But if you're going to just watch this on YouTube and you want more resources, you want more help, come join my free community and start building momentum in your life and in your business. They don't call me the ADHD leader for nothing, because I'm ADHD and I've learned how to use these systems to help me. If you have any questions or comments, put them in the comments. I respond to them. Maybe not daily or quickly, but I'll do them the best I can. I just want you to win. Let's go. Before you click a single thing, understand this. There are 2 altitudes in GoHighLevel, and almost every mess I get called in to fix comes from somebody working at the wrong level. The agency level, where you're going to live. The sub-account level is where your client lives. Watch this orientation, then I'll show you why this distinction is a leadership decision, not a technical one.
Welcome to Account Setup for Success. You are about to set up your new software system in a way that's simple, powerful, and built for long-term success. This course is designed to guide you as the admin through the essential setup steps so you can get up and running with confidence. Whether you're brand new to the software or starting fresh with a new account, we'll walk through 11 essential steps to get your software running the right way. You'll find checklists, walkthroughs, and tips that help you get it done without feeling overwhelmed. Make sure you download the reference guide, the workbook, the checklist. You can check things off as you go. Before we jump into all of this, I want to give you a bird's eye view of the software. When you first log in, you're going to land on your dashboard. This is a great view of everything that's going on with your business. Right now, it's not going to have a lot of information until you start using the software. You get out of it what you put into it.
Freeze it right there, because that line is really only half true. Your dashboard isn't empty because you haven't put enough in it. It's empty because no system has been deployed into it yet. Your data fills the dashboard. The architecture builds a business. That distinction is the entire difference between the person who sets this up and the operator who deploys it. And that's what the rest of this series is about. Okay? Back to it.
Our goal in getting your account set up is to put things into the system, get it set up so we can start seeing activity and really looking at your business as a whole. The best way to get around in the software, especially during setup, is on the left-hand side. This is your left-hand side menu bar. This is going to be all the features and other features within the features that you'll get to learn about through time. So don't try to learn everything at once. We want to get you started, get you set up, and then you can go in and become an expert at every feature that you need. On the left side panel, this is where your location's going to be. So if you have franchise locations or multiple locations, this is where you would select the drop down and pick your location to work in. You can easily search and check this out. A cool little flashcard to add a contact fast, book an appointment, send a review request, and create a brand new opportunity. Now on this dashboard, we go from top to bottom. If you think top to bottom, and then you're going to look at the software from left to right. So we'll go top to bottom, left to right. As you're in the software, you'll see what I'm talking about. Let's go to contacts, for example. Inside of contacts, we've got lots of things going on here and fun things that we can do. We clicked on contacts, and left to right is going to be all the amazing features within the contacts feature. Don't be overwhelmed. If you get lost, you can always click button here to get back to the menu that you're looking at and select any feature. There's a lot to unpack here. So what we're going to do first is set up your account so that way you can start actively using that. Now, if you look, we go from top to bottom. The settings button is where you will be most of this training, and that's because we need to set some things up so you can start utilizing your software. We'll walk you through 11 essential steps to get your software running the right way. You'll find checklists, walkthroughs, and tips that will help you get it done without feeling overwhelmed. If you utilize the checklist, you can check things off your list as we go. Now, just like any software, we're always updating, adding new features. We might change some colors. We might have a white background. We might have a black background. The colors may look different. The font may look different. We might get really creative with our software. So whether you see any color or updates or changes, just remember that these items are always going to be found in the same place where we're showing you inside your menu item on your dashboard. Once you figure out how to utilize the software, you'll see we continue to advance and make it better so that you have a better user experience. For the sake of training, we show everything in white so you can easily know exactly what feature or what menu bar we're talking about. So let's get started getting you set up for success.
So you've got the map, top to bottom, left to right, settings at the bottom left. Here's the reframe. The dashboard is empty because no system's been deployed into it yet. That's an architecture problem, not a data entry problem. And architecture is what this series is about. Next, the foundation. This is where that sorting starts. You're about to watch every core setting get filled in. Business name, address, domain, time zone, billing. As you watch, I want you asking one question on every field. I'll give you that question on the other side, but for now, just watch how it's done.
We're going to start with step one. Step one is account basics. We're going to log in and open up the settings tab. We're adding your business information, uploading your company logo, adding your billing card under company billing, setting up your time zone and language preference. At the very end of this course, once you get everything set up, this is where you're going to set up your team. When you're finished setting everything up, you want them to be able to go in and set their information up. Setting up your account properly ensures all communication and branding are consistent across the platform. You can always come back and update these settings later as your business evolves. The first place you want to go is into settings. When you select settings, you're going to see all the settings of your account. Again, don't get overwhelmed. We'll be going through each of these and you'll feel completely comfortable. The first one is your business profile. This is where you're going to upload your logo here so your image shows across the platform. You want to make sure that your business name is in here.
Stop. Your first setting, your first decision. Watch what I do with it. The business name is a client variable. It's different for every account you'll ever build. So it's not a thing you type in. It's a custom value set once at provisioning, populating every workflow and template automatically. And that's the question you ask on every field from here. Client variable or a constant. Variable goes to custom values. Constant goes to the snapshot. Watch the rest of this lesson through that lens. And one flag, the legal name of your business in the settings has to match your A2P filing character for character. We'll get back to that later. Back to the video.
Your legal business name, your business email, business phone number, and if you have a branded domain. When you set up a branded domain, it allows you to customize system-generated links with your own domain. This enhances your brand identity throughout the platform. This works in sending emails, calendar links, and so much more. All you'll want to do is make sure that you create a subdomain. So you could put something like admin or links. So we could do links.samplebusinessdomain.com. Keep in mind, this will be the domain of your brand. When we select Add Domain, you can add the record manually, in which case you would need to copy these links and put these into where your domain is managed. Let's add domain and let's let the system do it for us. So it's going to go find my domain. It's going to initialize it. It's going to see that it's on Cloudflare. And then I can authorize my domain. It puts it right into the system. If you're using GoDaddy or Ionis, those domain providers will work as well. Just make sure you're logged into your domain account to get that set up. It's very simple. It's not complicated. It's just adding a CNAME record to your current domain, like you did when you were setting up your email system or even your website. Down here is where you want to add your business website. You may want to add what niche you're in and definitely choose what currency you're utilizing. Down below, this is going to be your business information. If you've got an EIN number, you want to make sure that you have everything set up correctly. This is going to be very important when it comes to setting up the phone or the A2P compliance. You want to make sure you have all of this in here and ready to go when we go to register. You'll put in here your business type. You'll put in here your industry. You'll select your registration ID. This is how your business is registered. And then if you have an EIN number or any registration number, this is where you put in your business registration number. If your business is not registered, go ahead and select the check mark. And then be sure to add your business region of operation. Then select the blue button and update your information. Don't worry about these little warning signs. It's just that these features have moved to different places and we'll go through those with you. Now let's scroll back up. We want to put in our business physical address. This could be your physical address if you have a physical location, your virtual address, whatever your address is, and make sure you use the same address that is on your business information. I'm going to make sure everything is accurate and consistent. You'll put in your country, and that is putting in your time zone. This is important because the system will schedule and do things based on your time zone. We also want to set your platform language here. That's the language that will show up as you're using the platform. Be sure to click the blue update button once you get everything in so it saves. The authorized representative is going to be important when we're doing the A2P compliance. So you might as well put your information in here as the business owner, founder, or whoever is representing your business. When we get down to this general section, again, you're going to see where these things have moved. What you care about here is if you want to merge Facebook contacts by name, you can check this box. If you want to disable the contact time zone, you would check this box. Now, what does that mean? If you disable the contact time zone, that's going to tell me that you're only doing business in a certain time zone. If you work with other people outside of your time zone, you do not want to disable this. If you only work with people within your current time zone, you can go ahead and disable this. There's other features here, bot detection, and you can see right here, a bot is detected opening or clicking an email. This is great to check if you want to make sure that you don't get bots coming into your forms. This is an additional option here too if you want to verify every email address when the first email is sent as a new contact. You can do that as well. And then you want to make sure that you make email compliant by adding an unsubscribed link in your email. You want to check this to make sure that you have this set up so they can easily unsubscribe. If you want to customize this message, just select Customize and set up your own message. This content is the message that will automatically be added to any email that you send. This helps you when it comes to compliance. This is where you can set your content duplication preferences. I like to set mine to off.
This one setting is why so many CRMs turn into a mess. And almost every tutorial breezes past it. Leave it off. Here's why it matters. Someone fills out a form with their phone number. Later, that same person fills out a different form with their email. With duplication detection on, the system sees two strangers. One has a phone, one has an email, nothing to match on. Now you've got two records, two histories, and that person getting your follow-up potentially twice. Off, and the system merges them into one. 4 seconds now, or a cleanup project for the life of your account. Off. Always off. Okay, keep going.
I want to be able to have all of my contacts and my contact management. The other thing is when you have this turned off, if somebody comes in and let's say they fill out a form with a phone number and they used a different email, but you have them in your system with another email, but not the phone number. This allows the system to put that into the same contact. Now, if they come in through a form and put only their phone number, or they come into a form and only put their email, the system will not think of it as a duplicate because one is a phone number, one is an email. You can easily merge those types of contacts, and I'll show you how to do that when we get to the contacts training. Make sure before you leave this page that you click on the blue button to make sure that all of the information is updated and saved. Remember how I said from top to bottom, left to right? Well, we're going to go down to the very next one, and this is setting up your profile. Now, you are the admin of the account, so this allows you to go and update your profile, fill out your information, add your image, select your personal data, and set up an email signature for any outgoing messages. Over here to the right, this is where you can update your password. You can click sign out everywhere. You can also set up two-factor authentication. If you want your emails to be synced, you would select the Gmail or the Outlook option and select connect. And down here is the calendar settings. This is where you can set up your calendars by connecting your Google Calendar, Outlook Calendar, iCloud, or Calendly. You can also set up your video conferencing. If you utilize Google Meet, Zoom, or Microsoft Teams, this is where you would connect that as well. These are additional calendar settings. You can hide event details. When turned on, only you can see your third-party calendar details. Others won't be able to see that. So for example, if you have your hair appointment or your doctor's appointment on your personal schedule, you don't want that showing up in the calendar section in here, so you can hide those events. Now we have a new feature where when it comes to appointment setting, you can keep it at the business time zone or you can select other time zones. I recommend keeping it in your time zone because this is going to display appointment times throughout the app and in your appointment related emails. Down here is really important as well because this is going to dictate how your scheduling works. Right now, what I would do is put in your normal working hours. Make sure you put in your time zone. You can do this by just checking the checkbox and putting what days and times you work from. So if you only work Monday through Friday, 8 a.m. to 5 p.m., you could add another time here. So if you were working 8 to 12 and then 2 to 8, you could add a second time. We'll go ahead and delete that for now. What I love is right here, I've checked all of the rest of the boxes. So I'm just going to hit this little copy button and it's going to change all of these for me. You can copy the times to all or just select your specific dates. You can also add your date-specific hours. Let's say, for example, you're closed on holidays or certain weekends or times of the year. This is where you would add specific days and times that you aren't available. Let's submit that, and it'll show right here. You can always edit these. So, for example, if it's holidays, and you want to change the holiday, you can just come over here and do this for next year. You can go check the following year and update it when it comes to scheduling specific hours. Most people do the working hours, but if you want to come in and manage that, you can easily add those specific hours here. Now, keep in mind, these are your hours. These are your times or specific days that you're off. The next piece is going to be our billing piece. Now, this is going to be important when it comes to different aspects of the software. For example, when you purchase a phone number, there is a fee for the phone number. There's fees to do certain things within the system. We want to make sure that your billing is correct. Make sure you add a payment here. Put in your card. Know that it is safe. Save it. You'll be able to see all of your subscriptions here, your payment information here, where you can easily go in and edit that card or your billing information. You'll see down here any payment histories or credits that you've used. You'll see your payments and charges for your subscriptions. If you're utilizing the system, phone, or email, this is where your wallet and transactions will show up. This is where you can set the auto recharge, which you can set to $10 to get started when balance is lower than $0. You can also change it if it's lower than $10, $25, etc. Just getting started, it's best to auto recharge it. Then you can see what you're doing, how many texts you're sending out, how many emails you're sending out, and then you'll get a gauge of your budget. And this is easy to do right now. If you start utilizing other paid features and you start to see what your budget is, this is where you will go adjust that budget however you'd like based on your transactions. The detailed transactions are really great because you can see a summary of what you've used or where you're at within the month. So if you want to go back to a few previous months, you can see the summary of what you did those last months. This will give you an idea of how to budget. Are you sending more emails or text or utilizing any specific apps? This will help you set that budget. And if you want to track individual transactions, right here is where you can see the individual transactions and easily export those transactions. Once you get your billing set up, you have officially set up your account profile and your billing information. Now, I told you earlier, you're going to want to set up your staff after you finish the admin course. When we get to the very end of all your setup, this is where you're going to go back in and add your staff. So all you're going to do is go back to My Staff and select Add User. And this is where you will start to add your staff. You'll put in their first name, their last name, their email, their phone number. If you've created a calendar for them, this is where you would select their specific calendar. If you want a specific signature for this person on your team, the next thing after you set up the user information is to set up the roles and permissions. And this is what you're going to allow that user to have access to. If you want to put them as an admin, you can select admin or you can select user. Admin is what you are, which gives them administrative rights. User means that they would only log in and see what you give them user permissions for. They wouldn't be able to go into settings or anything like that. So let's select admin. You'll see right here, you can go in and select all the specific details of what you want them to have access to or not have access to. You'll want to take some time, go through that when you set up your users to give them the permission. An example would be if you have an administrative assistant that runs everything for you, set them up as an admin. If you have a sales team, this is where you'd want to set them up as a user and give them access to the specific tools that you want them to have access to. Let's say you have someone in marketing, you want to give them access to all the marketing tools. On the left-hand panel, it gives you all the details. So if you click contacts here, it's going to take you to the selection here. So you can go through this list. Then we get to call and voicemail settings. Once we set up your phone number, if you're setting up phone numbers for different people on your team, this is where you'll change those settings. You'll come back to this one later when we start jumping into phone settings and full-on phone training. The user availability will show up when they log in, and they'll have the same screen that you do to set their user availability. At the very bottom, they'll be able to set up their schedule as a staff. And then calendar configuration, if they're utilizing the calendar, this is where they'll set that up. Right now, it's looking for calendars that we don't have built yet. So the calendar configuration is going to do this until you select their specific calendar. The main thing in setting up your staff is getting their user information and the roles and permissions set up so they can get in and start utilizing the software and setting up their roles and permissions to what they are allowed to have access to the software. Again, save the My Staff for later. I will remind you at the end to go in and add your staff once you get everything set up. Again, as an admin, just to recap, you'll go into settings. You'll set up your business profile to make sure everything's set up. You're going to set up your profile as an admin, your billing, and then at the very end, we'll be setting up your staff.
Now the question, client variable or constant? Business name and phone, custom values. But heads up, they still get entered once manually into the business profile as well. So the system profile and your custom values stay in sync. IN, address, those are pretty much manual. Every account, there's no shortcuts. Compliance toggles, the unsubscribe link, Snapshot. The branded domain, manual. It's a DNS setting. Roles and permissions, they're manual, but only on the first hire. Now, one screen, all three buckets. That's the muscle to build. You sort as you configure, and the account becomes a template. Now, the phone is where most setups stall for 2 or 3 weeks. Not because it's hard, because it's sequenced wrong in almost every tutorial out there. Watch the setup, buy the number, verify, forward, voicemail. Then I've got the A2P sequencing rule that saves you those 3 weeks. Then I've got the A2P playbook that helps you save those 3 weeks to make sure you get that piece right so that texting becomes available sooner versus later.
Now we're going to set up your phone. Today, we're going to make sure that your phone is ready to go. Now we're going to set up your phone. Today, we're going to make sure that your phone is ready to go for sending out voice calls, receiving voice calls. So we're going to be requesting your local phone number. We're going to go through a quick phone verification to make sure that it is you buying your phone number. We're going to be adjusting the phone settings, how you want your voicemail, your call forwarding set up. And then I'm going to introduce you to A2P. That's application to person registration, which is required by carriers to ensure compliance with messaging regulations and prevent spam. This will be if you are planning to use your phone line for SMS or MMS marketing. So we're going to get you some homework for your A2P. We'll call it your A2P approval flight plan checklist.
Here's where most of the standard training sets you up to fail. And I'm going to save you a few weeks. You just got handed your A2P as homework. Go build 4 things: a live site, an opt-in form, a privacy policy, and a terms page. But watch what happens next in the video recording. The form doesn't get built until 3 lessons from now. And the privacy policy and terms pages, they never get built at all. So you'd walk into the Trust Center with 1, maybe 2 things out of 4 that you need. Then you'll get rejected and spend 3 weeks wondering, what did I do wrong? Well, here's the fix, and it's all about sequence. Enter these A2P settings early, which is fine. It's just data entry. The mistake is hitting submit before all the assets are live. So you build all 4 once as templates into your snapshot. So when you're completed with this location account, you can now turn this into a snapshot and have all the custom values built right in before your customer even asks. You're never waiting. You're just never submitting into a gap. That's the difference between a checklist and a system. All right, back to the walkthrough.
And again, that's optional if you're just wanting to set up a phone and voice. You're going to be completely set up when we're done with this lesson. Now, we do have a phone, voice, and texting course where you'll be able to learn all about setting up your A2P. We're just going to get you started and get you set up and make sure that you get a local phone number to represent your business for call tracking, voicemail forwarding, and get you set up so that way you're prepped and ready to go when you want to take the phone, voice, and messaging course. Let's go ahead and get your phone set up now. Inside your dashboard, we're going to go down to the settings button, and inside of settings, we're going to be looking for phone numbers. You're going to see this bracket of all of the business service settings that are available to you. The phone number is the one that we're setting up now. So we're going to select phone. And this is where we go in to add our number. We'll show you more detailed phone training, but for now, let's go ahead and get that phone number set up. Now, when you're looking for a phone number, you're going to want to select your country. I'll select United States. And then right here where it says filter, my recommendation is to always get a phone number that matches your same area code.
Small thing, big payoff. Match the area code to the number your customers already know or already live with on a day-to-day basis. When a text comes from the same area code as your main line, people will connect to it more and connect it to you when they answer. If it's a random out-of-state number, it reads more as spam and gets ignored more often. That's the difference between a texting channel that works and one that quietly does nothing. All right, back to it.
When you select filter, this is where you're going to want to select the first 3 digits of your business line. Get it as close to your business line as possible. And right here where it says any part, we just want the first part of the number. So that's the first part of the area code of your current business number. People will begin to relate that that's your text line versus your business line. Now you can also use the voice option as well for a business line. You can also select a toll-free number here as well, but I always recommend if you're a local business, get the area code that's closest to your main business line and select local. We're going to select the first part. Let's go ahead and apply. And it's going to start looking for that area code. Pick the phone number you like and then proceed to buy. The first verification is going to be verifying that it's you. You'll click the Begin Verify button. You'll want to make sure that you put the location of where you are. Select your ID, photo ID, passport, pick the ID of your choice. And then what you're going to do is take a picture of that ID. This is just going to verify that it is you because we don't want people just using your phone number. You can do this on desktop, which would be where you can verify yourself on camera, or you can click another device and send yourself an email. Put your email address in. If you take a picture of the QR code from your phone, it's going to take you to a link. And the same thing's going to pop up. Your camera, you can take a picture. And then once you take a picture, it's going to pop in and say, congratulations, you're done. And that's it. Just verifying yourself really quickly to make sure that it is you using the phone number. We don't want anybody to purchase a phone number that isn't verified and go and send a whole bunch of texts or make a whole bunch of robocalls. So this is done for your security and your protection. Let's go ahead and adjust your phone settings, your voicemail, call forwarding, and make sure that your phone number is active and working. To get there again, we're going to go into settings and we're going to look for the phone number settings. What we're looking for right now are the 3 little dots. Let's go ahead and select these 3 dots. And we're going to select Edit Configuration. Now, this is the place that you go in order to edit where and how you want the phone to be used. The friendly name is going to be your phone number or your business name. You're going to want to select who is getting the call. Is it going to you or someone on your team? If you're going to be recording your calls, you want to make sure that you click the dial to call record and put your message in. This call will be recorded for quality purposes. Whatever the message is, this allows the person on the other end to know that the call is being recorded. If you want to forward your phone number, you can select a team member as well. If you are the admin and you are managing the phone number, you can add it as your phone number under the team member, or you can just leave it like this if you're the only one using the phone number. If you have a team member, you're going to want to select that team member and put in their external phone. What this does is when somebody dials the phone number that's your number, it will route calls to an external phone number. This could be their cell phone, their direct cell phone. It forwards the call from the number you purchased in the system to an external phone number. There's also some amazing features in here that you're going to learn about voice AI, about IVR, about ringing to different team members. All that good fun stuff is going to be in the phone and texting course. The timeout is important. We set this to 20. That's 20 seconds. So when the call rings, we want it to go either forwarded quickly, and 20 seconds makes it go from the phone number to the forward phone number as fast as possible. When you set up voice AI, you can have a backup. Right now, it'll have a voicemail. Advanced settings are pretty cool. The Call Connect helps improve call reporting accuracy for inbound calls. Ask the call receiver to press any key they want to receive the call. So basically press 1 when you want to click it. If you want to add a whisper message, this is what you hear that is an incoming call. I just usually leave these as just connecting the call. And the phone number I see when receiving the call is possible. When you set up Voice AI, you can have a backup. Right now, it'll have a voicemail. Advanced settings are pretty cool. The Call Connect helps improve call reporting accuracy for inbound calls. Ask the call receiver to press any key they want to receive the call. So basically press 1 when you want to click it. If you want to add a whisper message, this is what you hear that is an incoming call. I just usually leave these as just connecting the call. And the phone number I see when receiving the call, do you want it to be the contact's phone number or the CRM phone number? I usually put the contact's phone number so we can see who it is. And if it's a new contact, it'll come into your CRM. When receiving an inbound call on a phone number, it can either be sent to the contact owner or the phone number owner. So if you assigned it to your team member, then it would go to them or it would go to you as the owner. Connect me to the contact outbound calls immediately after they answer or after the recording message is finished. So you can set these little advanced things up. The main things you want to make sure that you do is get that phone number connected to the right person, have your new text and voice line forwarded to a specific number. Remember, it's application to person. So because you have this phone number, it allows us to track every single thing related to the phone number. If you're using your phone and you want to have a recorded call, just like you do on your mobile phone or your office phone where you have a call recording, you'll go into the call recording and transcription. Right here, you're going to see a section that says voicemail. When you get into the voicemail, this is where you're going to upload your MP3, your WAV file, and put in your voicemail. You'll want to set the call timeout. And what this is it will record a voicemail if call isn't answered before this duration. So if you set it to 20 seconds, that's when the voicemail turns on. If you're sending it to different team members, you may want to put this a little bit longer. Then if no one answers, it can go to a voicemail. Again, there are a lot of amazing new features that we cover inside of the phone course. For now, I recommend if you want to have a voicemail, just go into the voice and missed call text pack and upload your audio file here and save. For now, the most important thing is to edit your configuration on how you plan on using the phone, basic details, call forwarding, and advanced settings. Then you'll click on the voice, go to the voicemail, set up your voicemail audio, upload it here, and you are ready to go. Your phone is active and ready to be used. Now, the next thing to do would be to test your number. If you haven't added yourself in as a contact yet, this is a great time to do this. All you got to do is select the flash, add a contact, your first name, last name, email, and phone number, and select save. Now, what you can do is from your mobile phone or any other phone number, let's give this phone number a call. Will be recorded for quality purpose. And you can see right now, I've got an incoming call right here. The phone number is active and working. We can answer, decline, or call back. So using your voice and calling is all set up. If you just need this for your phone using voice only, then you are set up and ready to go. But if you're planning on sending SMS or MMS messages from your 10-digit new local number, any automated or application-based texting like reminders, confirmations, promotions, follow-ups, etc. Basically anything where the software system sends messages to a person's phone. It is not required for voice calls, call forwarding, voicemail recordings, IVR menus, example, press 1 for sales, voice AI assistants, or inbound and outbound voice automation. Carriers created A2P 10DLC rules to reduce spam texting, not voice calls. Voice and call features still use the same business number, but they're not regulated under the A2P. So inside your software, your phone setup, you'll handle A2P for texting and standard setup for voice calls, forwarding, and AI voice options. No registration is needed. The only thing you'll do is verify when you purchase a phone number that you are the person purchasing the phone number on your account. We want to make sure that we get you all set up and onboarded today, and then you're going to go in and take the phone voice and texting course to complete your A2P registration. But in order to do that, I've got to get you a little bit of homework. We want to continue to make sure that we set you up. And once you've gathered all the information and your pre-launch checklist is complete, when you go into the voice and text course, you'll be able to completely finish setting this up. For now, are the person purchasing the phone number on your account. We want to make sure that we get you all set up and onboarded today. And then you're going to go in and take the phone voice and texting course to complete your A2P registration. But in order to do that, I've got to get you a little bit of homework. We want to continue to make sure that we set you up. And once you've gathered all the information and your pre-launch checklist is complete, when you go into the voice and text course, you'll be able to completely finish setting this up. For now, what I want to give you is a little bit of homework. Again, this is to be completed after your onboarding course. This is a checklist you're going to want to have in order to launch your A2P registration. We don't want to do this now. There's some things that you need to do before. So we're going to get you that homework, and then you can come back to this once you have your homework completed and everything's ready to go to get verified. We need to make sure that your business website is live. You have a privacy policy, terms and service pages. I'm going to show you what a website and the form should look like. I'm going to give you a quick view of the campaign, making sure that you have your business information, your business contact information, and we want to make sure that you have it all set up so it's all consistent. You're going to need everything ready to go before you get into the Trust Center. So let's take a look at your pre-flight checklist. Before you even open the Trust Center, your business website must be A2P ready. This step is to ensure the carriers see a legit brand with transparent communication practices. So the first thing that we're going to want to do is make sure that we have a live website. Your main site or subdomain, like a opt-in or signup.yourdomain.com, must be live, professional, and clearly display your business name and contact information. You're going to want to have everything matched. You'll need an opt-in sign-up page. You'll submit this page during your A2P registration. It must be hosted on your business domain or subdomain. It must include first name, last name, email, and phone number fields, just like the regular form, first name, last name, phone, and email. It must contain this line. By submitting this form, you agree to receive text messages from your business name. Message and data rates may apply. It must link to your privacy policy, terms and conditions pages. You'll see this right here. And I'll show you this when we go to set up a form, how easy it is to put the form in. We'll talk about that here in just a few lessons. We want to make sure that you do have a full-on privacy page that goes to your URL. It must be a live public page explaining how you collect and use data. You can use the provided template and edit it with all your business name and contact info. Just keep in mind, we're not an attorney, so you'll want to update this based on your business and your location. The terms and condition page explains your service terms, communication consent, and data practices. This is also a template included, but you're going to want to make sure to edit this to your business name, your brand, related based on your state or your local government rules and guidelines. Again, we always recommend having an attorney review your privacy policy and your terms and conditions to make sure that you're always covered. When all 4 pages are live, that's what you'll use later in the Trust Center. Let's recap. We're going to have a website, professional website page, an opt-in page for where they sign up that has a form with all of this information. You're going to want to have a privacy policy set up, and make sure that your email and your domain are all consistent, and make sure you have a terms and conditions page set up. I've also provided an A2P 10DLC approval flight plan. This is just a quick checklist to make sure that you have everything right. Remember when we went into your business profile settings and we had you put in your friendly business name, your legal business name, your physical address? We also had you put in your business information and your authorized representative information. You want to make sure that all of this information matches. When we get into the lead capture setup, that's where I'll show you how to set up your form. So you'll already have a form ready to go once you complete your onboarding. We also have a downloadable PDF and more information for you to help you have everything that you need in order to get registered. When you have all of your checklist and everything ready to go, you're going to want to jump into the voice and texting course where we're going to show you exactly how to set this up. Don't forget to grab your homework after this course course to get you ready for the A2P registration. Your A2P approval only applies to text messaging. You don't need to register for A2P to make or receive calls, use call forwarding, voicemail, IVR menus, or voice AI. A2P is simply what makes your texts carrier compliant so they don't get filtered or blocked. If you plan on using your phone for SMS or MMS messages, you'll want to take the phone, voice, and texting course to get your A2P set up. Let's go ahead and set up your email next.
Your calls and your voicemail are live. Test it. Call your own number. For texting, there's a compliance approval called A2P. The good news, the pages it requires, your opt-in form, privacy policy, and terms came built into your system. I'll show you where they are because you have to just fill in the custom values that are relevant to you. So don't submit for texting approval. Don't submit for texting approval until we've confirmed those are all live. Check off the phone steps and let's keep going. Email. Short lesson, one rule, one mistake that costs you your client. Short lesson, one rule, and one mistake that costs your client their domain reputation if you miss it. Watch the setup. Sending domain, the DNS records, verify, warm up. And I'll land the rule on the far side.
Now, setting up your email is something you really should be doing. Now, we all have, hopefully, a business email address. This is what we call a system email address. We're going to configure your email so it goes with your domain. It's very professional. We're going to help you add and verify your sending domain, confirm your domain name records, test an outgoing email, and your email signature. A properly configured email domain improves deliverability and creates a professional impression with your clients. Your email signature is a digital business card. It includes your name, role, contact information, and a professional photo. You'll definitely want to set all that up when you set up your staff. We're going to go back into our settings and we're going to be looking down here for email services. Now, there are two things you can do. You can get a complete dedicated domain, which does cost a little bit more, or we can just attach it to your main domain. So I'm going to close this out here. And what I'm going to do is we're going to come over to this right section where it says dedicated domain and IP. We're going to select that and add a domain. Now, there's a few things that you want to know here. We don't want to put your domain. Your domain is already active with your website. So right here, you want to connect a subdomain, something like replies. A lot of people will use replies, team, whatever subdomain you want to use, but you need to use a subdomain.
Catch what they just did? They just used the subdomain, replies or replies, not the main domain. That's not a style choice. That's protection. If your email reputation ever takes a hit, a bad campaign, a spam flag, you want that damage contained to the sending subdomain, not landing on the root domain your actual business email runs on. Subdomain for sending, always. 30-second decision saves your whole domain. Back to it.
Reply or replies is the most common. We're going to put reply.samplebusinessdomain.com. It's going to say looks good. And what we need to do is add and verify right here. So we're going to select add and verify. We're adding text records, a CNAME record, and 2 MX records. This is where you will copy these and put them into your domain name service provider. You'll want to find the text record, copy this, and then copy the required value. If you're just selecting continue, it's going to go out and find your domain. We'll go ahead and authorize the domain. It'll do this for both GoDaddy, Cloudflare, and I believe Ionis. It's going to open up your domain and give you all these records. Look at it, it's already done for you. You're going to select authorize. And once you select authorize, it's ready to go. We're going to let it do its authorizing work. And here we are. It's all set and ready to go. Now it's going to say not verified. So we want to verify the domain in the bottom right. And we'll give it a few times. We might have to continue to verify. Or it'll go back. You can see we added another one. You'll see right here that it's in here just waiting to verify. If you see red, click on the verify button and we'll go back in. You want to see all of these turned to green. So what you're looking for is all green. And then we wait for the system to verify the SSL, which is the little green lock certificate that makes your domain safe. You may need to refresh your screen a few times, but you will see that it is verified, and now you are in the warm-up stage.
Don't skip this part just because there isn't a button. A brand new sending domain has zero reputation. Import 10,000 contacts and blast them day one, you burned it, and it doesn't come back. Warm it up. Real back and forth conversations. Warm it up. That means real back and forth conversations for a couple of weeks. And your daily send ceiling climbs as the reputation builds. That's not a GoHighLevel rule. That's how email works for everyone, everywhere. Build the warm up into onboarding so nobody learns it the hard way. Okay? Let's continue.
This is really important. When you first get into your system and you set up your email, we strongly recommend sending emails and communicating back and forth once you get your contacts in. That's going to help increase your domain sending and your domain reputation. You want to send an email, you want to get a reply. The more you send emails back and forth, the more you'll be able to send more emails per day. So we're going to put you through a warm-up stage. Use it for conversations back and forth and getting people into your system. Not only is it helpful in warming up your domain, it's also helpful in tracking those emails that you're sending to and from your contacts. The very next section is your domain configuration. There's a domain configuration where you can select this specifically. This will be set as the default dedicated domain. So anything sending out in the system will utilize this email address. Notice the subdomain. Your business email address is managed from your business. This allows you to send and receive emails from the system, which also allows us to track how many emails went through, who was sent what. We can really do a lot when it comes to managing emails. So a great example, let's say we're going to send someone an email. We'll just come over here. We'll send an email. I'm going to expand this. And let's say we want to send the email. You will still put your name and business email address here. But when they reply to this email, it will come back into the system. This will allow your emails to show up in your conversations. As you're sending and receiving, you'll start to see your emails coming in. I recommend adding yourself as a contact and sending an email to yourself and responding back and forth. That's a great way to get started utilizing conversations and sending a test email. We added and verified your sending domain. We confirmed that your DNS records are there. You're testing an outgoing email or an incoming email as well, and you're going to be ready to go. And now it's time to start connecting some of your core tools. You should be very proud of yourself. You got through the two hardest parts, getting your phone registered, getting your email set up, testing your email, and now it's time to set up the fun core tools.
2 rules, both mid-video, both non-negotiable. The subdomain is for sending. Warm that domain before you get any type of volume. Email is the least glamorous asset in the stack and the most reputation sensitive. Get those 2 right, you and your client lands in the inbox instead of spam folders. Get them wrong, and no automation in the world matters because nobody sees it. Next, integrations. And one gotcha that'll waste you 20 minutes or more if you miss it. Integrations are fast and they're all manual. Everyone is an OAuth handshake, so none of them Snapshot. Knowing that going into a build, knowing that going in and building into your onboarding time estimate. Watch the connections. I've got one gotcha for you afterwards.
We have so many tools that you can connect to your software to utilize in one single place. The most popular ones we want to connect during your onboarding are going to be our Facebook and Instagram pages, our Google account, your Google Calendar, your business profile, any payment accounts, and any other Google ad or other tools as needed. Let's go ahead and jump inside. We're going to go back into the settings. And we've already gone through this part, so you're starting to feel really good about it. You're starting to see where everything is that you can connect. If you look on the left side of your menu, scroll all the way down to integrations.
Quick operation note before you watch this. Every single connection in here is an OAuth handshake. Google, Facebook, payments, all of it. Which means none of it can be built into a snapshot. You cannot template a login. So when you're scoping onboarding time for a client, this is the block that's always manual. Every account no shortcut. Know it going in, price it accordingly. Okay? Now watch.
This is the next piece that you want to set up. Look at all these amazing integrations. The main ones that we want to make sure that you set up are going to be your Google and your Facebook. You can always come back to these later. This will be setting up your calendar. So when you click on Take Me There, it's going to take you to the calendar section. This is where you can set up your calendar for both you or later on your staff. Each individual person can set up their calendar directly. Your users, when they log in, they'll be able to go to their account and connect their calendar. These two are the most important ones. We want to have you sign into your Google account. And this should be if you have a Google or Workspace account. Once you get your account set up, it's going to pull everything in from the Google. It'll be your Google Analytics. It'll be your Google Ad account. And that will show connected in green once you have everything set up. This is great if you're utilizing Google's analytics, because what that allows you to do is see these analytics within your system along with all of the ad connection. If you see anything red, you can always disconnect and reconnect. If you're utilizing local service ads with Google, you'll want to connect that. And this is where you will connect your Google business profile. And then, of course, we've got our Facebook and Instagram. Now, this is going to be really important to connect your business pages.
Here's the one that trips everybody. Instagram will not connect from inside GoHighLevel until it's linked to your Facebook business page inside Facebook first. If it's not, this connection just fails quietly. No error tells you why, and you'll burn 20 minutes convinced the platform is broken. So, link Instagram to the Facebook business page in Facebook. Then come here and connect. Do it in that order, and it's instant. Do it different, you'll remember that I told you. Back to it.
Once it's connected, you'll log in to your Facebook. Make sure that your Facebook business and your Instagram are connected in Facebook. Once you connect it, you'll see that the connection is active. You'll connect your Google business profile. Once you have your Google business profile connected, it's going to be easy to manage that page in here as well. I also recommend that if you do have a Stripe account, you can go ahead and hit continue to connect your Stripe account. If you notice, it takes me to the payments area. We talk more about integrations and payments when we get to the payments feature course, but here's where you can connect any payment integration you have. Stripe, PayPal, AuthorizeNet, NMI, manual payments, and Square. Let's go back into settings. We went through the business profile, billing, my staff, opportunities. We'll cover that in the opportunities course. Automation might be a good thing to go in here and set this up. And this is a great section for notifications. We leave this to select users. I like to turn on autosave. That will autosave any work you're doing. If you want to temporarily pause any workflows, that's where you would do that. Calendars, we'll cover this in the calendar feature training. Then we've got all of the amazing AI setups. And then you'll see where we have the email services, phone numbers, and then down here in the other settings, this is where we start getting into the advanced training. So you want to make sure you connect the Google Business and Facebook, and you're going to be all set. Google meaning your Google email, your calendar. If you want to integrate that to connect and utilize with the software, you'll want to integrate your Google Business, Google Analytics, so that way you can see all of your reporting in one place. Your Facebook and Instagram, that's going to allow you to have the communication feature. And then, of course, your payments. Now, you may not see all of these options available. Don't worry about it. That just means that it doesn't apply to your account. And the one that I want to show you here really quickly is Labs. And inside of Labs, this is where we get you involved in what's going on in our beta program. Inside of Labs, you can turn any of these on if you're interested in checking out what we're working on the back end. You can apply it and it'll let you know when it's coming live. And that way you can test with us as we continue to grow. You'll see there's a lot of things going on in beta. We're always updating and adding new labs. Labs is a great place to go. Audit logs is also important. This is where it manages all of those logs. You can manage your users. You can see what's been done in specific features. You can see any specific actions that have been added. You can set this to the last week, the last month, the last year. This is when you start utilizing the software heavily, just to know where your audit logs are found. The other thing is the brand board. If you plan on utilizing social media, email marketing, and websites, you'll definitely want to take the brand board feature course and get that set up before you start giving the access to your design or marketing team. So take a minute and go connect those tools, and we'll move on to get you familiar with some of the other amazing features that you're going to be exploring over the next few months.
That's your foundation. Profile, phone, email, integrations, all in. Now step back and look at what you just built. Every setting landed in one of three buckets: a custom value for anything client variable, the snapshot for anything constant, and manual for anything tied to a carrier, domain, or login. Client 1 took you through the full walkthrough, which is you, Client 1. Client 2 takes a fraction of that time. And the more you do this, the faster it gets. That's not working harder. It's building once and deploying forever. That's a force multiplier. Your client's pipeline is already built. It came in a snapshot. What's left is the front door, the form that pulls leads into that pipeline. Watch the build, because this form is a snapshot asset too. Build the fields once, deploy them to every client, and it's secretly doing double duty. I'll show you that on the far side.
I have to say, this is probably one of my favorite parts, and that's talking about lead capture setup, getting people from your website or your marketing materials, whether you have a funnel page or a website page, getting them into your system, and then creating workflows. Before I jump into this, I want to show you what is happening right now. When you set up your phone system, that's your phone, text, and voice. When you set up your phone and it comes through, your texting and your phone calls are going to come into your conversations tab. You also set up your Facebook page and your Instagram. So if somebody's messaging you on Facebook or Instagram, it's going to come into your conversations and your inbox. You'll be able to see all of your unread messages here, and you can easily respond in the amazing unified inbox. We're going to be covering more about conversations when we get to the conversations course, but I want to make sure that you feel really comfortable knowing where everything is coming into your system. So if you send yourself a text or if you send yourself an email, you'll be able to see it right here in the conversations. When you go into the contacts, you'll also be able to see the communication within that specific contact. Select the contact, and you'll see all of your conversations right here. If they have a phone, it'll show SMS. If they had an email, it would show email. It would show Facebook or Instagram right here, so you can see what you're replying to. My recommendation is to always keep an eye out on your conversations box. Here in just a few minutes, I'm going to give you a really simple way to walk through and utilize your software. I just wanted to show you what you've done right now and how far you've come. Capturing leads is important. We need to build a basic form. We need to add the form to your website using the embed code. Then you want to fill out that form so you can test the form. Then you'll be able to review the lead. You'll be able to see the contact created, the conversations, and then when we get to the opportunities training, you'll be able to see how that opportunity can come in. I'm going to show you a little bit about that here on the opportunities tab, help you feel comfortable about the way things flow. We passed over opportunities because I really want you to take the time as a business owner to create your pipeline that's going to best fit your business model. The best way to do this is when you go into opportunities, you'll see this little pipeline set up. We call this marketing pipeline. You can create a new pipeline and have it be a sales pipeline, a project pipeline. I mean, there's so many different pipelines that you can create. My recommendation while you're getting started is to create a simple pipeline where the new lead comes in, were they contacted, do we send out proposals, or do we book appointments? You could just say booked appointment and closed. You'll want to give your pipeline a name. Let's call this our sales pipeline. You can add any stage or take away any stage. Again, we go through all of this in the opportunities training, but to just set up a very simple pipeline stage, is the best way to get started while you're utilizing the software. All you got to do is go back into opportunities, pipeline, and edit your pipeline. You can add more stages and move the stages as you grow. Remember, your sales pipeline should be simple and to the point. We just went over where your leads come in. They come into conversations, they come into contacts, and the next place they come in is your form. We want to create a form and embed that on your website. This is great because when you put it on your form, it's going to come right into the system when they fill it out. So let's go set up a website form. You'll click on Sites from your left side menu, and then we're going to go into Forms, and we're going to select the builder. Under Forms, you're going to look for this blue button that says Add a Form, and what we're going to do is we're going to create a form from scratch. When I do this, it brings in a form that's a pretty basic form, right? We want to capture their first name, we want to capture their last name, possibly their phone number, their email, and you may even want to know what they're contacting you about. So we may want to add in a new field. Down below, you want to make sure that you have all of your disclaimers, your terms and conditions, your privacy policy, all the good stuff. You want them to check a box that allows you to communicate to them. The great thing about adding in a new form is that they already put in the boxes that you're going to need in order to get A2P compliant. If you plan on registering for your A2P 10 DLC, I recommend using this form and editing the box to make sure that it has all your business information and details. Make sure that you have your privacy policy link and your terms of service. This form is going to help when it comes to your A2P registration. Again, that's only if you plan on using your phone setup for SMS and MMS marketing. So whether it's a text with regards to your phone and being A2P compliant, or whether it's a terms and conditions, you need to make sure that you have at least one box that they agree to opt in, opt out, or even unsubscribe. So you want to have that box in here. When you click on it, it'll show in the right side where you would want to put all of those terms. If you just need one box is usually good. Just depends on the country you're in or the federal guidelines based on what needs to be done to protect yourself in communicating with this lead. Now, the other thing that you can do as well is there is a TC in here. You'll see TNC. That's where you just drag and drop the box.
Do not skip past this little checkbox. This is the box that makes your texting legal. Remember A2P a couple lessons back? This consent box is the opt-in it requires to be passed. Your form and your compliance step aren't two jobs. They're the same asset. That's why it lives in the snapshot. When you build it once, every client is compliant and collecting leads from the same form. Back to it.
You can see it already did that. It's already in here. But if you didn't have this, let's delete that. You could easily drag that TNC here. There's your conditions, and there it is. The example just had more information for you. Now, another thing that you may want to do is change the button colors. So for example, this one might say contact us. And let's go ahead and go down here to colors, and let's change that color to a blue color. You may have a specific brand or color that you use for your website. That's where you'll just put that information in here. Be sure to include the links of your privacy policy, terms and services, or you can add those into your terms and conditions. Now, what we want to do is, based on your products or the services that you're offering, we need to know what they're wanting to contact us about. My recommendation is to add what we call a custom value, otherwise known as an object field. Now, this is going to be related to the contact. And again, we talk more in detail about this in the forms and surveys course. So right now, what we're doing is we're creating a form that's related to a contact. So we're going to select contact, and you'll see there are some basic options already, some general information, the city location, if you need to add an address, or any additional information. I'm going to go ahead and select add. And what we're going to do is we're just going to create a custom field. Let's go ahead and select the checkbox. When we select next, this is where we're going to put, how can we help? The object is the contact, which we already selected. The group we're going to be going over when we talk about custom fields and custom values. For now, let's go ahead and put it into the group of the contact. Then what we're going to do is enter our options. So we'll just say service 1, and you'll see right here it's automatically giving it a value. Let's call this service 2. Let's add an option. We'll call this service 3. Let's go ahead and save. And what it's done is it's created my new field that I want to put into my form. We're going to go under the contact, and we're going to put how can we help? And we're going to drag that over here. Now, I'm going to make this required. If you notice, there's a little asterisk right here, right on there. That means it's required. When you click on any of your custom value fields, this is where you check the box and you see the asterisk pops up. That means it is a required field. I'm going to go ahead and make that required. We're going to go ahead and save. The other thing I recommend doing is labeling your form. You can just label this website form. You'll see this little yellow dot in the top right. It means you need to save that. So let's go ahead and select save. And now what we want to do is integrate the form. So once you get your form all set up, we want to select integrate. Now you can do this a couple of different ways. You can embed the code, you can share a link, or you can send it in an email. What we want to do is get that embed code so you can put it on your current active live website. Whether we're hosting it or you're hosting it somewhere else, all you need to do is copy the embed code. Would you like it as a sticky sidebar, a slide in, a pop-up, or inline? My recommendation is select inline and just leave these to always show, always show, always show. Now, if you were doing a pop-up form, this is where you can show after a few seconds. You can see the details. What we want to do is do a simple form so we can get this up on your website and collecting leads. When you select copy the embed code, this is where it copied to a clipboard, and you'll take this code and you're going to paste it into your website. I'm going to go ahead and select save, and we'll use a sample website. So I'm going to go into sites and websites, and I'm just going to select a sample website. We have a whole feature training on websites, so you'll be able to learn everything about the websites, the funnels, and even the website and funnel builder. For now, the most important thing to do is to get this form on your website. Whether you're inside of our website or another website, you're looking to be able to add the code, and any website builder has a code option. So if you were to put this, let's say down here, you'll see a script option, and this is where we would open the element and paste the code here and embed your form onto the website. Now, what I like about having your website hosted here is watch what happens when I create a how can we help? All I've got to do is select add, and let's look for the form, or we can just search right here, form. We'll drag and drop the form into here. We want to make sure we select the correct form, and there it is right here. We're going to go ahead and select save. So whether you're putting in the code as a custom value or you're utilizing the website builder and adding the form element, either way, now your form is ready to start collecting leads. Let's go ahead and fill out this form. We'll go ahead and put in our email, and we'll say we're interested in service 1. We agreed, and now we're going to submit the form. Now we see the thank you for taking the time to complete this form. You can customize this inside of the form. Again, we go over that in the forms and survey course. Now, where does that form go and how do we find it? We're gonna go ahead and go back. Let's go back into sites, and under forms, we're gonna look for submissions. And you'll see right here, the form that has been submitted. When we click on this, look at how it organizes everything. I like to use the submissions as backup. Let's go to contacts, and you're gonna see the very first contact right here that shows up is going to be your latest contact. So if I were to select this contact and we put in that custom value, remember, and we put it under the contact tab, this is where the answer is going to show up. So everything they filled out on the form is right here and the service that they wanted. Easy to follow and check and read. You'll also see the activity where they came in, they filled out the form, they visited the page, they filled out the form, and it created a contact. Now we want to get notified. So we're going to be adding this to a workflow. So that way we can send out notifications, put this new lead in your pipeline, what we call your opportunities, and have a full system flow when it comes to capturing leads. We talked about capturing leads from conversations. If a new person reaches out to you based on the integrations, Facebook, Instagram, your phone, a text, or an email, they all show in your conversations. And inside of conversations, when you click on this little contact icon here, it's going to bring out that third column. We can select the name of the contact, and it's going to take us right to the contact tab, again, showing them how they came in and all the details on the left. So we did conversations, contacts. I showed you how to set up an opportunity. Now we want to put this all together and set up a workflow. And I want to show you a few simple tips to make this even easier. Now, before we jump in, don't get overloaded. The most important thing is to set up your opportunities very simple. We'll always be able to go in and edit or update this as you become a pro. Everything we've covered up to now are simple setup tools that are going to help you get information into your software. Remember, you get out of it what you put into it.
Stop right there, because that line is the whole reason this lesson matters. She's talking about data. I'm talking about architecture. You don't get ROI from the form because you built the form. You get ROI because the form feeds a pipeline. The pipeline feeds a workflow, and the workflow follows up while you sleep. She just showed you all three. That's not three separate tools. That's one force multiplier running on its own. Next lesson, we make it move.
So we need all these things and all these people and all this communication and all of our leads coming into the system so we can take advantage of the full impact of your software.
So the form did two things at once. It opened the pipeline and it satisfied the A2P opt-in from lesson 3. That's what an operator's asset looks like. One build, 2 jobs, deployed on every account. Next, we make it move on its own. Here's where agencies get addicted. Once you run workflow, you never stop finding things to automate. Watch the build. But there's one setting in here that, if you miss it, it makes your whole form look broken. I'll stop you on it.
Here's the next amazing piece that we're going to get you started on, and that is getting a workflow. Trust me, once you start doing one of these, all you're going to think about is, what can I automate next? And what we want to do is automate our website form that we just set up. So I'm going to use that one as an example, because as you begin to grow and utilize your software, you're already going to be thinking about the automations that you can set and run. Think of automations like following up to a lead. We're never going to misspell something incorrectly. We're never going to have to question what's happening next, because the workflow helps the visitor go through the flow and get into your system. We're going to check out the workflow tab. I'm going to show you how to connect your lead form, set triggers, do a quick little automation, and then I'll show you how to test and run your workflow. Remember, workflows save you time by automating routine follow-up. So let's jump in and set up your workflow. Now, we've gone into sites. We already did our form. Now what we want to do is go into automation. I'm going to select automation. When you get into automation, it's automatically going to take you to your workflows. You're going to have a screen that looks like this. You can easily follow these ideas. You can create a current workflow that's already been built, or you can create one from scratch. You'll see we've got tons of recipes. These are some quick recipes, and when you select view all recipes, it's going to show you even more. Look at all these recipes you have. We're going to start from scratch. I think this is the best way to do it. We have a full course on workflows, because workflows has so many amazing features. The first thing you're going to want to do is name your workflow. We're going to call this the website form workflow. Of course, you can get more creative as you'd like. I'm using that for the training example. Inside of workflows, you're going to see the builder with adding a trigger. You're going to see the settings of the workflow, the enrollment history, and any execution logs related to the workflow. Inside of settings, this is really important. When you're setting up your first workflow, be sure to select allow re-entry.
Okay, freeze. Allow re-entry on. While you're testing, this is the setting that saves your sanity. Leave it off and submit your test form twice. The workflow does nothing the second time, and you'll spend an hour convinced you built it wrong. You didn't. It just won't re-enroll the same contact on while testing. Then, when you go live, you decide if you ever want a contact to go back through that workflow again. Back to it.
You're probably testing that over and over again. So until you're done testing, I recommend leaving it for allow entry. If you turn this off and you go to test your form, you won't get any of the automations. You want to make sure you can set the time zone. We leave it to the account time zone. And then right here is the specific time. I recommend turning on specific time.
Catch this one? The specific time window. A lead fills out your form at 11 p.m. Do you want your "we're on it, someone will call you" auto reply going out at 11 p.m. when your office is dark? Set the window and it holds until morning. Little setting, but it's the difference between sounding staffed and sounding like a robot. Okay, keep going.
Let me give you an example. If they sent you a website form, if you're closed on Saturday and Sunday, you may not want your email response to go those days because there's no one in the office to reply. This is very important when it comes to getting in forms and taking out forms. Now, if somebody sends you a form at 11 o'clock, you may want to have be sent first thing in the morning. We got your form. Thank you so much. Our office hours are this, or we close up shop afternoon. So you can set a time window, or you can always keep it off and let your automation flow based on when the user signs up. So again, if the user signs up at 11 p.m. at night, your automation is going to start at 11 p.m. at night. This is where you can put all your sender details. This is where you put your company name, your company email, the from phone number. So if you set up a phone number, you can put a phone number in there. And right here, you can select mark as read. If you select this as mark as read, this will show up in your conversations as read. I would not do that on a website. We want to see when these leads come in. Let's go ahead and go into the builder. And what we want to do is we want to set our trigger. Our trigger is going to be the form. So what we're looking for is form submitted right here. We're going to select form submitted. And you can see that is the trigger right here. I'll put form submitted, website form. This is just going to make it easier to know what actions are in my automation. Then I'm going to select the filter. Now we labeled it website form. We need to add a filter. And then we're going to select that form. There's the form you just created. We're going to select save, and there is our green form submitted. Now, what do you want to happen when the form is submitted? Well, we want to get notified. So we want someone from your team to get notified or you to get notified. There are different ways you can do this. You can do this with app notification, internal team. The first thing that pops up is send an email. Now, if you want to send an email to the person who filled out your form, you can select this send an email, fill out who from, create your email here, or use a template. Now, if you don't want to send an email and you just put on the website form, thanks for filling out the form, now you need to do an internal notification. We're going to look for internal notification right here. This is going to notify you or anybody on your team that there is a lead. You can select your notification type. You can send an email. This is an app notification or a text notification or a WhatsApp notification. However you're doing your notification. Let's go ahead and do an email notification. And then right here, this is where you would put your message to them. New lead, check it out. Now, if you want it to go to a specific user type, if the contact's been assigned, let's just do particular user and select you. That way you can test your form and make sure that you're getting notified that the new lead is here. We'll just put new lead for the subject. I forgot the subject line. So we want to have our subject line and we want to have our email. So now we've got an internal notification. The website form is filled out. We're getting notified. And now what we want to do is we want to add it as an opportunity. So let's say we go to opportunity and create an update. Give this a name. We want to select the pipeline. We had sales pipeline. We want to select the stage to new lead and put the name right here. We're just going to put this little squiggly contact.name. This is a custom field. So if you click this little tag, go into contact and put the full name, there it is. The opportunity source is going to be our website. This is a lead form, so there's no dollar value, but what we do want to do is leave the status in open. You'll learn more about this when you get to pipelines. We'll go ahead and allow the opportunity to move along the stage in the pipeline, and I'm going to select save. So there we go. Now, there's a few other things that you can come back to and add to this form. Things like when you set up your team, you can actually assign this lead to a specific user. So you can select assign to user and select the team member from your team member list that you want to get this lead as well. Again, you'll be coming back into this and fixing it up over the next few months to be exactly the way you want it to work. There's one more tip that I want to show you that we already talked a little bit about custom values and setting up your form. We talked in the form section about when you set up your lead form, having that information come in. I'm going to show you a little tip here on adding a note. So let's go in here and I'm going to select add a note right here. And then what we're going to do is we're going to add a note based on that form that we filled out. You'll see this little tag right here. We're going to select the contact. We'll go ahead and put the full name here. We also got their phone number and then we'll put their email. Let's go ahead and put in the custom field that we added. Select here. We're going to select how can we help. Now you can put titles here and make this all pretty. You can put name like this. Phone, email. If you had multiple items on your form, you could put in more than just that one field. But I'm going to go ahead and select add a note and select save. We saved it. We made sure it's published. Now let's go back to the form that we filled out. Let's go to sites. Let's go to our form builder. Let's preview the form. I'm going to put in another test element here. We'll put in a test 1 email. I'm going to select 2 services on this one. And let's go ahead and submit that form. And let me show you what happens. So when you go into your contacts tab, let's go to contacts. We're going to select the test. We'll go back into the contact. And then right over here on this little note section, we can expand that. And there is the note. The reason I like to do this is because sometimes your fields can get lost over here. You'll be able to organize folders with custom values, custom fields, and groups here. But this makes it really easy to get all the information you need to the questions that they answered on the mobile app. So instead of trying to have to go through and find what they were interested in, when you click on the contact, you have it ready and available right inside Notes. It's just a little quick tip that I like to do. It makes it easier to find and see when they came in as well. Now you're going to see that activity as you go through and see the activity. You can review that form by clicking that button here as well. So you can add a note or they can click on the activity and get right to the form. This is the same information that's in the form submissions that you saw earlier. I usually like to have it come in as a note because it's easier to read on the mobile app. You're going to have so much fun when it comes to setting up automations. Remember, the fastest way to get there is by selecting automations, find the website workflows, select the 3 dots, and select edit workflow, and that'll get you right into the workflow. And as you create more and more of these, especially when you take the automations and workflow feature course, don't worry, you're going to be coming back to workflows after you get a little bit more used to the system. But getting these in is going to help those leads come in and help you really manage your CRM. Remember, you get out of it what you put into it. So every time somebody visits your website, now the lead is officially coming into your opportunities for you to manage your sales pipeline. Workflows save you time by automating routine follow-up tasks. Start with that simple workflow, then expand as you get comfortable. Check your workflow history to confirm everything is running smoothly after testing. You don't want to spend too much time in there because you will be spending plenty of time in there later. We want to make sure that you get through the setup. Let's talk about calendars next.
One workflow. Lead comes in, you get notified, opportunities created, the notes stamped. That's the spine. Every automation you build from here hangs off that pattern. And it lives in the snapshot. So client number 2 inherits every workflow. Client number 1 paid you to figure out. Next, calendars. Calendars are fast and able to put in a template down to the notification settings. One thing to watch, where the availability actually comes from. One thing to watch is where the availability actually comes from. The video discovers it kind of the hard way, and I'll flag it so you don't.
I showed you a little bit about calendar setup earlier, but I'm going to show you how to set this up so you can get your calendar live. This is a quick setup. We do have a full calendar feature course that you're going to want to take if you want to do more with calendars. The goal here is to set up your calendar and then put it on a website. Let's jump in. Now we're going to go into calendars. This is going to be on the left-hand side. You'll select calendars, and here you have all of your calendars. You'll see the calendar view, the appointment list, and calendar settings. All you're going to do is select calendar settings. And when it's your first time in, it's going to walk you through manage all calendar settings. Let's go ahead and select next. Copy and share scheduling link. Troubleshooting the calendar. Find out why slots aren't showing up or previewing. Accessing additional settings and actions to your calendar. All right, that's right here under actions. Edit, share, troubleshooting, and more options. You won't see this here because you're setting up a brand new calendar. What we want to do is select new calendar, and we're going to set up a personal calendar. The round robin is your team calendar. So if you have a bunch of people taking appointments, this is a great way to set that up. We cover this in the calendars training, class booking, collective booking, and you can select more types to see the other types of booking. Right now, what we want to do is just set up our personal calendar. We're going to give our calendar a name. Let's say personal calendar. We'll go ahead and select the team member, which is me. Once you get everything set up and you're ready to add your team in, you can come in here and add them as well. We're just going to put personal calendar, 30-minute meeting duration. Let's go to advanced settings, and this takes you to the full screen. So we can upload a picture, we can put a description. If we were creating group calendars, I'm just going to create a very simple calendar. Then we're going to go to availability. Now, remember earlier when I showed you that you set up your availability on your profile? You want to make sure that you have the same thing set up here. This is going to pull from your availability that you set in your personal profile as well. You can select a look busy or reoccurring meeting. My average meetings go 30 minutes. If your meetings go longer, make sure you put your meetings here. We're going to go ahead and go to the forms and payments. This lets you know if there's a form you want to select that they have them fill out before they book with you. You can have them fill out a form. We're going to just leave everything simple. Don't forget your consent box, that they agree to receive information from you. The confirmation page, there's your thank you. All right, looks good. We're not taking any payments. This is our personal. Let's go ahead and go to notifications. We can do appointment status. We can do in-app. We can say email, in-app, and SMS. You can enable right there, and they're all turned on. That way you'll never miss an appointment. If it's unconfirmed, if it's confirmed, you can also set that up here. If it's canceled, if you connected your Google or Outlook calendar on your personal settings, you can allow this to be on both calendars. You can allow rescheduling, allow canceling, or not allow rescheduling or canceling. Then you'll have any meeting notes here. These are mostly filled out for you. Just go with these for now. Eventually, you'll know how to come into calendars and make these changes. Then we'll look at any customizations, make a cover image, select Neo or Classic. We keep everything on Neo. You can change your color right here. Let's go to a darker blue for the calendar. You can change your background, your meeting schedule, calendar title, calendar description, and calendar details. I recommend just leaving everything on. I'm going to select this preview widget here. It's going to open up a preview of my calendar. Now, if you put an image here, that would be right here, and this is what your calendar looks like. Notice you don't see Saturday and Sunday. We turned Saturday and Sunday off. So let's go back to my profile, and let's go take a look at this real quick.
Watch what just happened. The calendar showed the wrong days, and the fix wasn't in the calendar. Availability inherits from your profile. Set your real working hours once in your profile, and every calendar you ever create obeys them. If a booking page ever shows the wrong times, don't fix the calendar. Fix the profile. One place, everything downstream follows. Back to it.
Let's go back to my profile. And right here, you see how it says 12 a.m. If I change this, I change from 8 to 5 p.m. I'm going to just copy all. Let's not work Sunday, not work Saturday, and I'm even going to delete Friday that we can see Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. We're going to update my availability. And now I'm going to go back into the calendar. Here is my personal calendar, but let's go ahead and refresh my calendar link. It only shows now 8 to 5. And notice Friday's off. When you're setting up your own personal calendar, make sure that those are aligned. If the calendar does not look right and they're trying to book you on Saturday or a different day, just make that adjustment inside of your availability and you'll be all set. Now you've got a personal calendar. You can have all types of calendars. We just did a fun little website. So I'm going to go back. Let's go into sites. Let's go back into our website. We'll go back into the one we were working on. We had a contact us page. If you want to put your calendar on the contact us page, let's go ahead and edit this. Let's show you how amazing this software is. Everything in the software works together. You will get used to utilizing all the features. I'm going to select calendar. There we go. Let's drop that in there. And then guess what? You don't have a calendar set. There's my personal calendar. You saw the design elements and there it is on my website. They can now officially book within the calendar. Now that you've had a chance to play with workflows, you can create a trigger that says book calendar and create an entire workflow on that along with your website form. Let's go ahead and preview this. And there it is, my calendar. They can easily select the time, put in their information, and schedule the meeting. If you're planning on utilizing calendars, this is a feature you're going to want to spend a little bit of time in. There's so many things that you can do. Online booking eliminates scheduling back and forth, and it helps you look professional. Buffer times between appointments to prevent overlapping, and really play with the calendar feature if you're planning on having booked calendar meetings. Allowing clients to book their own appointments can save you up to 5 hours per week in administrative tasks. If you plan on using a calendar, now is the time to go set up your personal calendar to get your system set up before we start inviting the team.
Calendar's live and on the site. Notice the pattern holding. Set availability once at the profile and it cascades. That's the same principle as custom values. Define it in one place, consume it everywhere. Next, the daily operating picture. This is the daily operating picture. Contacts, conversations, opportunities. The three-legged core. Everything you've built so far feeds these three. Watch the tour. I'll land why these three are the whole job.
You made it this far, and I promise you it is downhill from here. We're going to be talking about your CRM essentials and what you're going to be playing with for the next 30, 60, and 90 days. The more you're in the software, the more you're going to feel better about the software. But before we jump into the CRM fundamentals of how the software works, let me show you that you know more than you think you do. So as of right now in the software, I'm going to show you how far you've come. You know how to access your account. If you have multiple accounts, you know how to select the dropdown. You know how to quickly add a contact. You always land on the dashboard, top to bottom, left to right. We put in that brand new opportunity. There it is right here in our sales pipeline showing up on our dashboard. When you did all of your integrations, you connected your Google Analytics, your Google profile, any Facebook or ad information, and your dashboard is slowly starting to fill up. I'm very excited for you. The next pieces below are going to be your conversations, your calendar, your contact, your opportunity, and payments if you integrated the payments section. This top part right here is everything related to customer relationship management. Everything down here is related to setting up and your marketing tools. The other thing that you've mastered now is how and where to find settings. Remember, the settings button is where you went in to add your business, set up your billing, and where you're going to go when we're finished getting you all set up to add your staff. This is where we went to create a quick pipeline. We can always click this. It will take us right back to where I'm going to show you in just a minute. You've gone through and set up your phone and your email, and you now feel good about getting into integrations, labs, and audit logs. Settings is everything that's related to the administrative side of managing your account. And you'll know that's always going to be right here at the bottom. Now let's talk about the CRM tools. I like to say contacts, conversations, and opportunities. If you remember that, you will become a pro. Contacts is where you can add a contact, or your contacts will come in from an appointment from your website or filling out a website form. This is how you'll be able to select the contact and go in and manage the contact. The contact has a 3-column view.
This right here is the whole job. Left, who they are. Middle, your conversation with them. Right, everything that's happened and everything to do next. Contacts, conversations, opportunity. Master these 3 and the system tells you what to do. You stop managing software and start working leads. Everything else in here is support for these 3. Back to it.
Right now it's set to 2 columns. Over here, when I select this is our 3rd column. So you've got your contact details of all the contact information. The middle side is a conversation or conversations that you're having with the contact. And over here is all of the activity or associations, tasks, notes, appointments, documents, and any payments that have been made. So you can see this contact filled out a website form. Here's where you would follow the conversation, going back and forth. There's a little arrow right here. When you click the arrow, it'll always be at the top left. It'll take you back. Now, I told you about top to bottom, left to right. So you'll see every time we click contacts, you'll see a left to right. We're at our contact list, and you'll see all these features that we're going over throughout your training. If we were to click calendar, you would see the calendars, and again, left to right, your calendar appointment view, and the calendar settings where we set up that calendar. We go into conversations. We're going to see the same thing. Left to right, conversations, manual actions, snippets, trigger links, settings, it's all going to be right here. Let's go back to that contact, and I'll show you right here. When I was in the contact, all we do is click that little arrow to get out, and we're right back to the contact list stage. Now, let's go into conversations. This is where all of your phone calls, your texting, your email, everything's going to come in here when somebody's trying to reach you. And this is where you can reply. So you'll see right here, we've got this little expanded menu right here. But guess what? We also have a 3-column view. We'll expand the contact details. We can see the activity, associations, tasks, notes, appointments, documents, and payments. So here's your 3-column view in conversations, where the first is your inbox. This is where you would see all your unread messages, all messages, recent messages, and any starred message. We'll go over all of this in the conversations course. This is just a way to get you in, out, and around. Now watch what happens when I click this. It's going to take me right to the contact. So now I'm back in the contacts tab. When I select arrow back, it's going to take me back to the conversations tab. If you want a bigger conversation screen, just click X and it'll X out of that 3rd column. Click any of these items and it'll show right here and bring out that 3rd column. Every single thing. You want to search a message, it's all right here. You want to start a new conversation, it's all right here. This is this little menu expanded, or you can just arrow back, and now you're back to your 3 columns. Remember, conversations is always going to be in the middle. So that gets you around contacts and conversations. Now let's go to opportunities. Again, this is where your opportunities are. This is where your pipelines are. And this is other bulk actions related to opportunities. Remember, we created that pipeline. Right here, you can delete any pipeline by just selecting delete and delete the entire pipeline, or go in here and edit to edit your current pipeline. Drag and drop, move stages, or just click add a stage to add a new stage. Just put in the name of the stage and move it wherever you'd like. When it says right here on shows reports, we go through this more in pipeline, but you'll see the funnel chart and the pie chart show up on your home screen. And these will show up in the dashboard the way you select. I'm just going to select a funnel chart here for new leads. We'll go ahead and save that. And when you go into reporting, you'll be able to set up your report to see exactly what you want to see and the way you want to see it. So a quick recap: contacts, conversations, and opportunities, they're all right here. Check your conversations by selecting conversations. If the third column is hidden, just select here. This will take you to the contact by just selecting the contact. And then opportunities, anytime the new lead comes in, just effectively manage your pipeline. Payments is where you'll set up your payments and invoicing. All of your CRM tools are right here, and all of your marketing tools are here. Remember, we went into sites to set up our website form. If you're utilizing a website, you can go in there and set up your website. Everything down here relates to your media storage, reputation, and reporting. We're just getting started. The goal for you in the next 30, 60, and 90 days is to continue to manage the leads coming in, your contacts, your conversations, your calendar, your opportunities, and your payments. I recommend when you're talking or working with a customer, utilize the Tasks tab to set yourself tasks and reminders. As you begin to set different tasks, like call Monday. This is a task, call to follow up Monday. Then you would select your Monday, the time you want to do it, and assign it to you. Let's create that task real quick. If you want to add a note about a customer that you're talking to, say interested, said to follow up on Monday. You put your name, add your note. And for notes, you can search notes. Let's add a note. She loves dogs. And now, anytime I'm working with this particular contact, I can easily come over here, check my activity. How did they come in? See if they're associated with anything, check my tasks, and check my notes. I can also check the calendar to see if they have upcoming appointments. Very easy to manage. Now watch what happens when I go to my dashboard. If I want to know what's going on with my tasks, all I got to do is scroll down and you're going to see my task. We can also see everybody's tasks, pending tasks, or completed tasks, the date due, and you can select your team as well so you can see what's going on with your team. You can also view your task by going into contacts and clicking on the task button to see what tasks you have assigned yourself or your team, or things being done or they completed. You can manage yourself and your team. So over the next few days, you're going to be checking your conversations to see what's coming in from your website. You're going to be checking your calendar to see what's been booked on your calendar. You're going to be checking your contacts to see who's come in and getting to know them by clicking on the contact, managing all of their information, having conversations or viewing conversations, and over here, checking or adding any activity, notes, tasks, and you name it. You'll be managing your opportunities as well of new leads that come in. And what's great about this is when you click on the bold piece, it takes you right to the contact, which gives you all the pieces that you need to effectively manage that contact. Managing these opportunities is going to be what you're going to be looking for. New leads, new conversations, new calendar bookings. This is going to actively get you using the software. So as these come in, you're going to be able to feel comfortable about going back and forth. Just remember, you always have a home base on the left side, and the top right will always get you through a variety of features. Your CRM is the heart of your business operations. Taking the time to understand these core elements now will save you hours later and increase your efficiency. Start with just a few contacts to practice the workflow before importing your entire database. Start with contacts, conversations, opportunities, testing your calendar, testing your form. I'm going to make sure that we get you set up on the mobile app to manage those same features, the contacts, the conversations, and the opportunities. Let's make sure that you get the mobile app set up, and then you'll be ready to add your team and show your team.
3 tabs run the business. Everything else, the marketing tools, the reporting, the media, supports them. Teach a client these 3 and they're operational, no matter how much else sits in the platform. Next, we put it in their pocket. Speed to lead is the whole game, and the mobile app is how you win it. Respond in minutes from anywhere. Quick setup, one notification setting people always get wrong. Watch.
Now, every great CRM should have a mobile app, and we've got you covered with our on-the-go mobile app. We're going to log in and check out your dashboard. We're going to show you how you can get around in your app, turning on or checking notifications. And we're going to make sure that you can manage your business on the go. So let's take a look at the mobile app. Now, you can download the mobile app below this lesson. We've got the Apple link to get the mobile app from the Apple Store. And then we've got the Google Play link. You're going to use your same login and password that you use for the system to get in. It'll send you a code. Just fill out that code and you'll get right in. Once you're into the mobile app, it's going to take you to your dashboard. This is looking at everything at a glance. Go down here to the Pinned app. When you tap on the Pinned app, you can select any of the features that you want to see on mobile right on your dashboard. I would recommend selecting your calendar to be on the app. You can drag and drop these by holding your finger down. You can drag and drop these into the order that you'd like. You could do contacts, conversations, opportunities. You could do opportunities, conversations, and contacts, and then your calendar. You can organize this however you'd like. You've got plenty of things to select here. But when getting started, to help you get used to running both the desktop app and the mobile app, this is where you're going to want to be. Once you get everything pinned, we'll go ahead and X out of that. This is where you can click on, guess what, our opportunities. So you can check your opportunities here based on that pipeline, and you'll just swipe to see where the pipeline is. You can easily manage your pipeline. We do have a on-the-go mobile course, so you'll be able to take that course as well. This is where all of the conversations are going to show, so you can easily see your inbox, any internal conversations, and you can click on that conversation and easily reply just by selecting the email or the SMS, depending on what they provided. Keep in mind, if they didn't provide you with a phone, you won't see the SMS. If they didn't provide you with an email, you may see SMS and not phone. If it's an Instagram or a Facebook, that'll show up here as well. And that's how easy it is to go in and reply quickly and on the go. Then you've got your contacts, so you can easily search by name to find a contact or open up a contact. And you can manage this contact. You can see all your notes and documents and all the things in the third column that were right here. And this is where you could call, email, schedule a meeting, or make a charge. Let's go ahead and go back here. You can check your calendar here by selecting calendar. And any of your team members who have created a calendar, you can select your team members and select the specific calendar to see what's on the calendar. You can even share your calendar by selecting the share button, copy that link, and share it. Now, there are more things that you can do in this app. You'll see other quick actions like adding a new contact while you're out. Another great thing that is in here is scanning the business card. You can then scan a business card and bring it right in. Down at the bottom, you can manage your conversations, search, calendar, or click apps to view all that are available. Just remember to go in and set up your pinned apps to include the opportunities, the conversation, the contact, and the calendar. That way you can manage all of your CRM right here from the mobile on the go. The mobile app allows you to respond to leads within minutes, even when you're away from your desk. Quick response times can increase conversion rates up to 80%. Before we move on, I want to show you inside your desktop application how you can set up your notifications. When you log in over here to the top right corner, you're going to see your notifications bell. Right in here, this is going to show system and alerts, mark all as red. So you can see any notifications coming in right here. Right over here, there's these small little 3 dots. We're going to go ahead and click that. And you're going to see notifications or clear all notifications. We want to select notification settings. Right here where it says in-app, the preferences set for in-app include both web and mobile.
One thing they don't spell out clearly, the in-app notification preference controls both web and mobile at the same time. There's no separate mobile switch. Set it once here on the desktop and it's set everywhere. Turn the ones that matter, new lead, new message, and you'll never miss a hot lead sitting at a red light.
Every notification you receive in the web app also appears on the mobile app. Now, if you like your notifications to be sent via email or text, you can select those. And you'll just go through and check all of the notifications that you want to receive on your mobile app. And when you're done making that selection, just select Save. And now all of your notifications that you've selected will show up in the mobile app. Again, you can manage this from your desktop. For notifications, you can mark all of them as red, and you'll see they're all showing as red. And the other part here is you can clear the notifications by selecting Clear. And every time you log into your desktop, you'll see all your notifications here, and you'll know you're up to date. It makes it really easy to manage the notifications from your desktop by selecting the bell and getting notified on your mobile. We're almost done. So take a minute right now, grab your app from the Apple or Play Store, use your current login and password, and get started using the on-the-go mobile right away.
Apps live, 4 apps pinned, notifications tuned. A lead that gets a reply in minutes instead of hours converts far better. That's not a feature. That's revenue. Next, we bring in the team. Now the team. And this isn't a checkbox exercise. It's a permissions architecture. Watch the setup, and I'll show you why the role shape is a snapshot decision, not a per hire one.
It's important to stay in the loop when it comes to managing your team. And now is the part where everything is set up. So it's time to add your team. You're going to want to monitor your performance. Open the dashboard, check activity, check conversations, review the opportunities. Regular monitoring helps you identify what's working and what needs adjustment. Set a task reminder for your weekly check-ins. Your dashboard provides real-time insights into your business performance and customer engagement. We've got everything coming into your system now. We've got all of your contacts, conversations, and opportunities set up for you to start seeing this on your dashboard. You'll see the opportunity status. You'll see your conversions. You'll see your funnel based on your sales pipeline or the pipeline opportunity that you set up. You'll be able to see your tasks. You'll be able to see everything right from the dashboard. Check conversations, check opportunities, and make sure that your team is managing those leads effectively. If it's you running the show, you want to make sure that you're in these sections all the time. Watch as your dashboard begins to fill up. Now's the time to set up your team. Remember, this is an admin feature, so where do we go? We go to Settings. We'll go to My Staff. When you click on My Staff, this is where you'll begin to add your users. Don't forget to add their information, their email, and their roles and permissions. We've got a Managing My CRM course built for your staff that you're welcome to use. Just make sure you set up their user info and what they have access to. You can set them up as an admin or a user, and don't forget to select which features that you're going to allow them to have access to. And then you're going to make sure that they go into their profile. They'll see their profile right here. Once they get set up in the system, this is where they're going to be able to go in and manage their profile, put in their availability, and set up their calendar and be all ready to go. Your next step is to set up your team so they get invited into the system, share with them your mobile app link, and then set up a time because you're going to want to take time setting up your contacts, your conversations, and your opportunities. As you begin to utilize the software, take each feature course as you need it so you can pace yourself in becoming an expert utilizing your CRM.
In the snapshot, you can't save assignments by role. That's the split. But if you build your permission templates once for each role, sales, manager, administrator, owner, then you can copy permissions to each new user that you're onboarding, and a new hire becomes a 2-minute job instead of a security audit where you got to go through all those settings all the time. That's the last piece. Let's close it out. That's the full build. Before we close, one last thing worth stopping on.
Yay, you did it. You are all set up. Congratulations, your system is up and running. You've completed all the essential steps to start leveraging your CRM effectively. Most users only get this far after several weeks. You're ahead of the curve and you're ready to start seeing results. Keep building one step at a time. Use your CRM daily, track contacts, and maintain customer relationships. Manage your leads, move prospects through your sales pipeline. Explore advanced features. New features will make more sense as you go along. Remember, you have courses when you're ready to explore the feature you want to learn next. A couple of things to recap. You've set up your account basics. You've set up your phone.
Both words matter, brand and campaign. People get their brand approved, see a green check, and they assume they're done for texting. They're not. The campaign is a separate approval, and if it's not cleared, the texts still don't send. So when you check your A2P status, check both lines, brand approved and campaign approved. Then you're actually live. Okay.
Want to make sure that your email is working effectively. You want to make sure that you connected all of your integrations. Want to make sure that your lead capture, the form is coming in and everything's working smoothly. If not, we want to go check that workflow. Make sure that if you're utilizing calendars, that you have that calendar set up live and on the website for you and or your team. You've now understood all of the CRM essentials, the way to get around the software, how to get through contacts, conversations, and opportunities. You've also downloaded your mobile app. You feel comfortable with the dashboard. You are officially all set up. Feel free to check off any steps as you complete it to track your journey towards your CRM mastery. Celebrate each milestone. Most users complete their essential setup within the first week, and go on to become CRM experts within 90 days. By combining the online training that you got in this course along with the mobile app, you're going to be a pro. After you feel comfortable with your contacts, conversations, and opportunities, which we recommend taking your contacts course next, once you've done those, then it's time to go and spend more time in your automation workflows, calendars, and any other features that you are going to use for your business. Again, congratulations for getting everything set up. Thanks for watching. Welcome to your new system. This foundation will help you save time, close more deals, and stay organized, and manage your business on the go. Let's continue to build something great, one step and one feature at a time.
That's the system. One operator, one deployed configuration, replicable across every client without starting over. That's not a faster clicker. That's a force multiplier. Subscribe if you want the deployment doctrine, not just the button clicks. And there's a workbook that follows this whole build step by step. It lives inside my portal. Join through the link below and it's yours, along with the rest of the training library. Build it. Don't just watch it. We don't teach software. We teach force multiplication. I'll see you in the next video.